Do you ever feel like you've lived before? I don't mean in the way folks joke about it, like, oh, I must have been a baker, because I love croissants. I mean really lived. Like some part of you remembers a war you never fought in, a love you never touched, a lesson you've been trying to learn since before you were born. Like you woke up halfway through the dream, but instead of shaking it off, you just sat there, wide-eyed, knowing deep in your bones that you've been here before. Not just this town, not just this mess. I mean here, this reality, this game, this earth. Like Earth's classroom, and you're the janitor who's cleaned it 1,000 times and finally figured out the trick of the floor buffer. That feeling, that ache, that holy homesickness, that's not madness. That's memory. Some of us ain't here to build no empire. We're just here to remember. See, the saints used to call it the dark night of the soul. The Buddhists call it Mashka. In the East, they whisper of liberation from the wheel. In the West, we sing about going home. And I think they're all talking about the same thing. We ain't just spirits caught in an endless loop. We're pilgrims, walking the long road back to God. Edgar Cayce used to say, we're all on a long journey home. Not punished, not abandoned, just learning. Learning what it means to be spirit and matter. What it means to fall and forgive. To forget. And then remember. You ever notice how the world gets thinner around the edges when you stop trying to own it? How time feels more like a puddle than a river. That's what they meant when they said, before Abraham was, I am. Time ain't marching forward like a parade. It's stacked, like pages in a holy book. All happening now. And you? You've read this chapter before. Maybe even wrote a few. Some folks call it deja vu. Other folks call it prophecy. I just call it remembering yourself. I used to think I was here to do something big, to change the world, leave a mark. But maybe that ain't the test. Maybe the test is, can you be kind when no one's watching? Can you live like you already are what you're becoming? Cayce said the soul chooses each life, every trial, every face, every wound. We come here like students, returning to class with a syllabus made from our own intentions. Some of us keep repeating the same course. Some of us, we're on the final assignment. And there's a feeling you get when the loop is almost done. Not boredom, something deeper, like a quiet ache. Like you're not angry at the world anymore. Just tired of pretending it's real. Like you've seen behind the curtain so many times. The play's still beautiful, but you can't laugh at the jokes like you used to. You're not here to be rich or adored or even understood. You're here to remember the soul's language. To love without needing. To forgive without audience. To be aligned. That's what Cayce called it, alignment. Spirit, mind, body. You know, that's what I mean when I say perichoresis. It ain't about the Trinity in the sky jumping around to some silent melody. It's about you, the earthbound body, the curious mind, and the soul that can soar amidst the planets and moons, the stars and otherwise, for now, unknown. It's about those three finding harmony, dancing like there's no tomorrow. Cayce said, the spirit is life, the mind is the builder, the physical is the result. So, if your body aches, if your world feels heavy, check the mind. Check the story you're building. I used to think reincarnation was about karma. Do good, get good. But Cayce, he painted a different picture. This ain't retribution. This is remediation. We're not punished for our sins. We're educated by them. So if you've suffered, if you've failed, if you've loved and lost, and still wake up talking to the ceiling some nights, good. You're learning. And once you've passed all your soul exams, you don't get sent back to kindergarten. You graduate. You become light that never forgot it was light. You don't float up to a cloud. You wake up in the middle of God. And God ain't far. God's right here. In the stillness between your thoughts. In the crackling silence between your heartbeat. And that sacred echo when you say, I am, and something ancient says back, so am I. So how do you know? If the hunger for power makes you queasy, if the applause sounds tinny to your ears, if the game of life feels rigged and silly and weirdly beautiful all at once, if you cry at sunsets and laugh at funerals and feel more at home in silence than small talk, if death don't scare you no more, not 'cause you're brave, but because it feels like a door you've walked through before, then maybe, just maybe, this is your curtain call. It's not because you're perfect, but because you finally understood. You're not here to fix the world, but to bless it as you leave. Like Christ breaking bread. like Buddha touching earth, like Elijah climbing onto the whirlwind. So if you're feeling like a ghost inside your own life, like the world's a play and your costume don't quite fit, you ain't broken. You're remembering. Perfection never was the point. You don't leave the cycle by escaping it. You leave by understanding it. This is the final round. All you got to do is walk each moment like it's holy ground. Because it is. The test is love. The answer is always love. Perichoresis.